So the next thing is, I asked for I don't need people's names. I'm not looking to attack a person. I need to know the position, every position, which is going to be over 300 positions, what the position is, their pay in 2020, 21, 22. I want to know their pay because he wouldn't answer my question. He sent me these formulas and stuff. And so I just said, give it to me for all the staff. I want to know what it is. And I copied the legislation on the Board of Education in Charleston. I copied the president of the Board of Education in Charleston. So
if anyone from Harman wants me to pay me $100, I will literally do every person in Randolph County, what they get paid and what their raises have been over the past 4 years.
So I'm attempting to get that from Brad.
It would be a lot easier. I mean, I can do it for you.
That's what I'm tempted to do because I want to see. I mean, we always say it's not a revenue issue; it's a spending issue, and so we just want to see, what makes sense. Now,
so did he ever say how many people were hired during COVID?
He didn't give me an exact answer.
Okay,
he didn't give me exact. Tony said, I talked to Tony. He said, well, we hired people during COVID, and we told them up front, this is a COVID-funded position. So when the COVID money ends, this position could end. That's what Tony told me.
Could end. I don't think it ended in Petersburg.
I think the levy helped them carry on some of those things. So since 2015, there's been 4 attempts at levies in Randolph County, all been voted down.
Smart people.
I don't disagree. You know about my thoughts on taxes. The thing is, they're going to say, well, look what happens when you don't pay a levy. The kids get penalized. But I'm sitting here saying something.
They're already getting money.
The thing I understand. The thing I'm trying to get through is if the counties, I think it's always spending. The county. Tony told me, according to some of the teachers and staff that I know from Harman County, are going to like to hear this, but Tony said they're way overstaffed. That's what Tony told me. He's the treasurer for Grant County, who we know. I called him and he said I'm looking at the numbers. They're way too overstaffed. So Dilly said, well, if the schools don't close, we got to let 32 people go. That's 32 families. And I always like to take that into consideration. So the question becomes, and I'm not a resident, 32 families or 138 kids get affected, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what the decision they have to make. Here's the thing, though. Even if they close down Harman, they have to let 17 positions go.
Yeah. So really the net positive on positions let go, 32 minus 17.
15.
So
it'd be an additional 15 positions let go if they kept the schools open.
Yeah, so you're going to lose 17 either way.
Correct.
So you're really
so
you're really only affecting 15 families.
Correct. Which it's.
So let's not, because they'll play this. They'll be it's 32 families.
He didn't talk about that in the paper. So you just go,
it's 15 families or 138 kids.
Correct. And so that's good. Now, the 15 families, trust me, I've lost my job 15 years ago. It's not easy.
We're going to be hearing this from the federal government when they start firing and closing departments. Yeah. But what about the families?
Yeah.
Welcome to the real world. Because I've been laid off before. Not fired, laid off before. No, me. Because my wife.
I was fired.
I've been fired too. But my wife was laid off from her job when they closed the plant as a cost-saving move. It happens. Yeah. It's sad. It's rough. It's not fun in the moment.
There's unemployment.
But it happens.
There's things to help you get through that, which is good. Yeah. I mean, we have government programs, taxpayer money to help you get through it. But there's stuff to help.
At least you pay into
the
funds. That's why I'm always like, I'm collecting unemployment. I pay into that.
Oh, no. So it's up in the air what they're going to do. The Board of Education votes, and some of the Board of Education members were engaged. I was watching for body language, like I knew what I was doing, and some of them were engaged. One was slumped back in his chair, which kind of shocked me. It was like he actually got a picture in the paper, slumped back in his chair, as 2 parents are talking about their kid possibly getting shot. So I'm kind of saying, well, that's not good.
Listen, it is these elitist mentality. They don't care. They think they're better. They think they're above.
Yeah.
We're seeing it more and more.
He is a doctor and a physician. But I talked to him and I said, listen, you're from Cheat County. You represent this county. This school's your number one priority. And he's like, I don't want to get sued for the money that's in the deficit.
Then step down.
So it's a good point. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Step down.
And if you're putting yourself ahead of the kids, that's not what the role's about. It's about putting the kids ahead of yourself. But I did research on that. They can get fined up to $500 for deficit and or put in jail for a year. So I'll pay the $500 and I'll come visit them in prison. But those are the penalties, because both, I think even the president said, we're financially accountable. Well, no. First off, I talked to some previous Board of Education members who said, in my time, I've only seen one county get in trouble with that. He said Braxton County in the early 2000s or something like that.
And that was what they were spending it on. So here's my question.
Well, the law says
if you're worried about it, then you're spending it on the wrong thing. That lets me know you know that you're going to get dinged because you have made unwise decisions.
Let me look and see. You talk a little bit here. I want to tell you exactly what the law says, because I looked it up and I thought it was really interesting.
I always go, everyone.
Here it is.
Go ahead.
Good enough.
No. Well, no one wants to be held accountable for their decisions. And then when they have a chance of getting caught, it's like, oh, we got to protect ourselves.
Yeah. Well, I did say in that meeting, I did talk. I said, listen, my suggestion is it's low-hanging fruit to just close the school and affect 130 children. I suggest we get a third-party auditor to come in and audit the books to see where we can save money. Now, no one's told me they've done that. Of course,
no, they're not going to do that because they don't want you to know what they actually spend it on.
Well, they'll say we are audited. They're audited by the state,
who has no interest in finding anything wrong.
What this state does is they look for,
okay, you bought something and didn't turn in a receipt. That's what they look for.
You didn't get a bid. You didn't get 5 bids and written or something. I mean, they look for something like that. So this is what it says: unlawful expenditures by the local fiscal body. This is 11.826 in the West Virginia State Code. Except as provided in sections 14, 15, and 26, a local fiscal body shall not expend money or incur obligations in an unauthorized manner for an unauthorized purpose in excess of the amount allocated to the fund or in excess of the funds available for current expenses. So remember, it's unauthorized manner, unauthorized purpose, or excess of the funds. If the local fiscal body or its duly authorized officials may not be penalized for a casual deficit, which does not exceed its approved levy by more than 3%. A person who is in official capacity, willfully violates the provisions shall be guilty of a misdemeanor, and upon conviction shall be fined not more than $500 or confined in jail not more than 1 year or both.
But that says willfully. So what it lets me know is these Board of Education members have willfully done something and they don't want to get caught.
It worries me because when I talk to past Board of Education members, they're like, dude, we saw with Braxton County, it was because it was like crazy spending. It was something unethical, whatever, however you want to put it. So when I hear their concern is, well, listen, we could be, are they going to find out we did things unwillfully, however they worded it? So that has me concerned as well. You know, is there something going on? That's why I feel like I'm up against, Brad's just not been extremely forthright, which I'm really just going to keep pushing and pushing. The vote is December 10th. There's a meeting December 9th in Harman.
And of course they're going to do this, drag it out as long as they can.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So
it's called government. And
taxpayer money.
It's a joke.
Listen, I don't want to say, listen, I'm okay with government. I'm not okay with politicians. I'm not okay with some of the stuff. I don't know. Government, never mind.
Government was supposed to be small and not controlled.
I take back what I said.
Yeah.
Government does drive me nuts.
It's yeah.
Gets on my nerves.
I'm telling you.
Gets on my nerves.
It's just a waste of money. That's all it is. They have millions and millions. The fact that they got $20 million in COVID money.
Trillions of dollars.
Well, no, I'm just talking local government now. Well, yeah, the federal has trillions, but $20 million in COVID money.
Shy of $20 million.
And we went over everything that it was very broad what they could use COVID for. There were certain
guardrails, but it wasn't.
I actually looked at it today. I took a picture. Someone sent it to me. We have a lot of investigators. Citizen journalists is what they're called now.
We do get a lot of texts.
Yeah. And it was the stuff that they could spend on. It was like 1% of this money had to be spent on DEI.
Gotcha.
Like, oh my gosh. You know, so there were little things that they had. 2% had to be in improving lunches. And, it was just things like that. But the rest of the money was very, very broad.
Some people use it. Some counties use it to upgrade some things in the schools.
Yeah.
You know, which we always say Grant County could have did that.
Yeah.
With their money, they wanted it. And so, yeah, I'm trying to get the information. I'm hoping that next week.
And then with as broad as it was, how many counties misspent the money?
37 to 55. Yeah.
And it was broad, and still 37 misspent it.
Correct.
Which we never did find out if Randolph was one of those counties.
I've been looking and Googling. We're trying to find where we look for Grant County because Grant County wasn't one of the 37.
Yeah.
They did get their finger slapped for buying 100 some TVs without getting bids. But they weren't part of the 37 yet.
Yeah. So 37. So chances are Randolph was in there.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you could call the state. The state would tell you that.
Well, listen, I've called. I've left messages for the attorneys. I've had like 5 messages. No one's called me back.
I must have got called at the right time because they called, but they know what's going on. They don't want to answer. Like when we were doing our investigation into Grant County, everything was calm. No one knew anything, so they were willing to just.
Yeah. So I asked for a couple of questions. First question was, if the Board of Education during the meeting, December 10th, if they decide to go into executive session to vote, is that legal? And I was told, well, no matter what they say they want to do, their vote is publicly known. So that's something that even if they say we want to do executive session because we're going to talk about something else, which they tend to do.
So they still can't vote in there.
Well,
on that.
I'm waiting for the attorney to call me back and say, if they say they're going to executive session to vote, you stand up and say no. I'm waiting to hear that back. Because they are individuals of the public, and so I think their vote needs to be known, how they vote and how they view the schools, right? And so that was the one question I had, and then I forget the second question.
Next thing is you can recall them.
What do you mean?
Do a recall on them. Get enough people together and recall the Board of Education members.
Pull them off.
Yeah.
So, according to the senator, I have it in my phone. I have to look up his name, but he's like, hey, listen, we go back in a session in February because this happened 30, 40 years ago where the state stepped in and gave money to keep Harman open. So this is kind of a repeat, right?
But still, I hate that because they have enough money.
So
they're just spending it wrong. So you're just throwing more money at someone that's already not misspending, but unwisely spending.
So where he's saying they come back in a session on February, he said, so listen, even if they vote to close it December 10th, we can come back in and we can help out, and then they can rescind their vote and keep it open. So no matter how unless they vote to keep it open, it's open. If they vote to close it, then we look forward to the February session.
And the senator has been very good with you. With
very nice.
That's
very
like
nice.
Our senator, Randy. I have his cell phone number. Anytime I call him, I mean, he's been very nice. Yeah.
And he's not over Randolph County, right?
No.
He's Mineral.
Grant. Yeah. Yeah. They redistrict some, so it's
So we're trying. And so we need to come out again, protest, make our voice heard. Pickens
December 3rd,
Tuesday. 3rd, Board of Education building in Elkins. The meeting's at 5:30. If you want to talk, get there and get on the docket. 5:15, 5:10, something like that.
Yeah. I'm a part of 4 nonprofits on the board, and there are rules that they have to follow.
Oh no, there are.
And the one difference that I saw that I liked from Grant County, which I wish the Grant County Board would do, and you told me this,
it was really nice.
That the Randolph County Board, the president ran the meeting. In Grant County, the president does not run the meeting. Correct. The board, the superintendent does, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. The superintendent's supposed to be basically quiet.
The superintendent didn't say a word.
Yeah. This is a board meeting.
The president of the board, they were at the front.
Yeah.
She called the meeting to order. They did a very nice job running the meeting because it is different. Grant County, you don't hear from the board. You hear from the superintendent. And so, I don't know if that's
not the way it's supposed to be. It's a Board of Education meeting with the Board of Education president running that meeting.
I think it's easier for Grant County to get their stuff through. I think it's easier for the superintendent to get what he wants done if he runs it. And so it's different.
It's a lot easier when you've handpicked everyone on the board.
But listen, the voters voted him in, so
Yeah.
I always keep that in mind. The voters spoke. So, the voters are okay with any decisions that the Board of Education, I shouldn't say the voters. Well, yeah, it is the voters.
Yeah, half of the voters.
Well, it was half for the levy.
For the levy.
Yeah, so. But no levy in Randolph County.
Smart people. Keep voting no to the levy because it'll be there forever.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I live in Hardy. Hardy voted down the levy for the ambulance. Yeah.
Yeah. Smart people.
Yeah, and Pendleton votes down levies. I remember talking to them, the school levies and stuff. So hopefully people are starting to realize there's not a money issue.
Listen, I was talking to someone this week, and they said, we cannot afford to live in Grand County. We cannot afford. And people hear that, and it's all these people who have money.
Yeah. It's
these school people who are making $70, $80, $90, $100, $120,000 a year that look at you and go, you can't afford $500. Yeah. This lady is like, I can't afford it. It's levy after levy upon levies that we already have. Remember, my mom, she didn't know this. Do you know the money that goes to the school from the county is already called a levy? There's already a levy on.
The existing 50% of your property tax.
That's why they called this the excess levy. My mom didn't know that. She's like...
she's my mom too.
Yeah,
our mom.
Our mom. But she was like,
is she my mom?
I didn't know we already had a levy. I'm like, well...
Officially,
it's called a levy, and that's why this is called an excess levy, because they already get 50% of the money that the county pulls in. Well,
the thing when we did this,
what was the operating budget for Randolph? Did you see what the whole operating was for the year?
It was for this year. It was a little shy of $55 million.
That's double what Grand County is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's double the size.
Yeah.
So and they have more schools. I mean, Grand County has Petersburg Elementary, Petersburg High, Maysville Elementary, and Union Complex. And Randolph County has, we didn't talk Tigard's Valley. That's Randolph County. And there was actually a shooter in Tigard's Valley. Not a shooter. I'm sorry. A kid brought a gun.
Possibility.
Brought a gun. Yeah. And so the parents of the kid that he was going to shoot were at the Board of Education meeting. And that was really, really interesting. I talked to the sheriff of Randolph County about the pro officers. There's 3. And he said, I said, how was that paid? He said, there's a $35,000 grant. And then the sheriff's office pays vehicles, their
insurance, gas,
stuff like that. And then the remaining for the officers is split between the county commissioners and the Board of Education office. And so I said, well, what happens if the Board of Education don't have money for these? Because the superintendent played the same card that Mitch tried in Grand County. We're going to get rid of the pro officers. That's the first thing they say. Yeah. We're 30. We have 30. 32 staff we got to get rid of. It's going to be pro officers and nurses. And I'm like, oh, geez. It's what they go to for their talking points. But so he said, well, right now the county commissioners help out with that, so it's not a big financial impact on the school.
Well, you know why they do that? Because if they can pull on your heartstrings, you don't care. Like they did in Grand County, you don't care about the kids.
Yeah. Well, this isn't about the kids. If it was about the kids, they get rid of the 32 employees that they're overstaffed, and that's the other thing. It's not like they're overstaffed. It's an issue of them having too many staff members.
No, they are overstaffed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it's not like they're overstaffed. No, they're overstaffed.
Yeah.
It's not like they're understaffed.
Correct. Thank you. So they have too many staff. I'm not talking about teachers. I'm just talking about too many staff in the school. So that's something that, to let 32 go because they're overstaffed. And like I said, if they close, they're still going to let 17 go. So they're still rifting no matter what situation. Yeah. So anyway, that's the update.
Okay. Well, come out December 3rd, Tuesday night, 5:30
Board of Education in Elkins. Yep.
Okay.
Hey, one thing I want to give you a compliment on, because I always get scared doing these podcasts with you.
I can get salty.
Yeah, I know you can. So there was a lady who, I won't use her name, but she said, I loved your podcast. She said, her brother, anyway, I don't want to say who it is. She said, I love the podcast. I laughed at parts, especially when your brother was talking about the self-checkout. He doesn't do that. I do the same thing. And I said, well, my brother scares me, so I got to keep him calm. She said, well, don't worry. He's just like my husband. She's like, Thanksgiving without an argument and a fight isn't Thanksgiving in my family. So she was like, we really love the podcast.
Hey, I'm ready to talk politics tomorrow.
Listen,
over Thanksgiving dinner.
My wife will go nuts because she listen, even though we don't agree on politics, she hates talking politics. She hates it. She's just, even my son, who's from Chicago, he said, Dad, I found out something. It's not the Clinton News Network. It's a Central News Network. I'm like, it's not Central. It's the cable news network. Yeah, that's what I meant, Dad. That's what I meant. So.
Listen, soon to be possibly the ENN, Elon News Network.
No, MSNBC.
He's rumored to buy both of them. That's why I don't think he's buying either. Yeah. But did you see what's the lady from MSNBC breaking down almost in tears over it? It's hilarious. Hilarious.
They're sensitive.
Listen, she's getting paid. I didn't know this. Did you know how much? Because I always thought TV ads were outrageous. Do you know how much it costs to run an ad on MSNBC?
No clue.
Like $4,000.
Really?
Yeah. That's how low. Because they have no viewers.
Well, the Hallmark channel is now more popularly viewed than CNN is. Yeah. The Hallmark channel.
But this is how, because gone are the days, because there's so many viewing options.
Yeah.
So podcasts are huge. We view most of the stuff on our phone. So cable has gone. Yeah. Gone are the days where it was NBC, CBS, and ABC. That's how old I am. They didn't even have Fox.
Yeah.
So you had those three. So the nightly news pulled in 10, 20 million viewers. Now they're lucky to pull in 1 million.
Yeah.
And I was shocked. Tucker Carlson in his heyday was the #1 rated show on Fox. It was only $10,000 to get a 30-second spot. But we're so used to the Super Bowl.
Oh, it's $1 million or more.
Oh, it's more than that.
That's because there's how many people watch that? It's like 50, 60 million.
Oh, no. It was 80 or 90, I think, was the last one.
Gotcha. Yeah. There's a lot of viewership.
So, but
we still can't afford, with Explore Randolph County, we still can't afford that.
We'll give you $5 for a 30-second ad, people. We'll give your name a shout out.
The stuff we do for free.
Yeah. So, Explore Randolph County. Check us out. We'll give you updates as they happen.